Good afternoon and welcome to the BRR Legal Brief, looking at the major legal issues affecting Australian business. I'm David Bushby and today we're talking about the Asian Century White Paper, which was released with great fanfare by the federal government just this weekend. Joining us to discuss the major opportunities and challenges coming out of the White Paper is Mark Crean, Deputy Senior Partner at Herbert Smith Freehills. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, David.
Mark, if we can just kick off with the paper, it's over 300 pages long. There are some 25 national objectives listed in the paper. What do you think would be the key message, however, to come out of it?
Well, I think the key message, as you say, it's a very large paper. It's about 300 pages long, covers a lot of areas. I think the key message and the key point, the key value, if you like, of the paper are it creates a dialogue, a conversation, if you like, among the government, business and the community at large about what the growth of these Asian economies means for Australia, about what Australia's place can be in those economies, makes the point that proximity does not deliver certainty, and so makes some changes, sets out some changes and some frameworks that would enable us to benefit from those opportunities. So I think that's the main value of the paper. It creates that dialogue, and I think you can see in some of the press already this week that dialogue has already started.
Absolutely, and the government does identify a number of opportunities in the White Paper. What do you see as being the main challenges?
Well, I think the main challenge is, I'll focus, I think, on government. So the government has, I think, laudably set out a paper with a framework for a number of goals and things that would need to be achieved to facilitate our success in this new world, if you like. And a number of those, I think, will present challenges for the government because they will require change, and they'll require challenges for governments because some of them will require decisions and policies to be developed at a state level. So the examples include streamlining taxes, making Australia an efficient regulatory environment, improving infrastructure, and importantly, improving productivity. So I think those things themselves are some of the challenges that government has, I think, laudably set for itself.
And if we can just look at the legal sector in particular, any specific opportunities for law firms?
Well, law firms, legal work of the sort that large commercial firms do tend to follow investment flows. And also, if you look at the growth of these economies, we see a very significant growth in the demand and the need for legal services, complex legal services of the kind firms like ours and others provide. And we're now called Herbert Smith Freehills. Freehills, formerly an Australian firm, merged with Herbert Smith. For both of us, one of the key drivers of that merger was the platform we now have in the Asia Pacific region. We've got offices or associated offices in all of the major countries that are mentioned in the report. So that was a key driver for us. We see a growth in the demand for legal services, and our goal is to be the leading Asia Pacific firm.
And just a final question, we've obviously seen a lot of investment in the resources sector, both from Asia and into Asia. Putting the resources sector aside, however, what other opportunities are there for Australian business for inbound and outbound investment?
Well, a picture tells 1,000 words. There is a chart on page 59 of the report that charts the growth or the centre of global economic activity from 1000 AD through to the present day and projects to 2025. That chart shows that the centre of activity started somewhere in Central Asia, and then over the course of the centuries that followed through to about 1940 or 50 moved through Western Europe to the centre of the Atlantic, recognising the growth of the United States after the Second World War. And since 1960, that centre has been moving inevitably back towards Asia. What does that mean? It means a growth, for example, of a large middle class in a number of these countries. Immediately, the opportunities for Australian business will be in the food sector, in agriculture. Therein lies a challenge because some of the debate around foreign investment in those sectors, investments needed to improve the productivity in those sectors, and Australia has traditionally relied partly on foreign capital for that investment. Some of the debate around selling off the farm, I think our government will need to try and shape that debate somewhat so that we can capitalise on that and be seen as a place that welcomes investment. Agricultural services, therefore agri-sector. Also businesses, I mentioned legal services, financial services, areas like construction, design, tourism, education. Significant lot of opportunities in the services sector for Australian business. It's a very exciting opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for coming in and giving us your insights today.
Thanks very much.
And viewers, thank you for joining us. We look forward to having your company next week for the BRR Legal Brief.